What is the psychoanalytic theory? So it was developed by Sigmund Freud, and according to his theory, many of a person's thoughts, wishes, and feelings are hidden in the very large unconscious. That's Sigmund Freud. Thoughts can be retrieved into consciousness through the preconscious, and many memories are repressed or blocked from consciousness. This is the id, ego, and the superego, and how they work together. According to Freud, personality consists of three interacting structures. The id is primarily unconscious and very impulsive on our desires. The ego develops after the id. It's mostly conscious, so we know what we're thinking, and its conscious memories, perceptions, and thoughts is considered the executive of our personality. Superego is basically the ego and the id together, and it's how we come up with our morals. So the id, you can see the pleasure principle, because it's like living off your pleasures, and the ego is reality principle since it's realistic. Here are Freud's psychosexual stages. It's oral, which is mostly sucking and has to do with the mouth. Anal, which is focused on bladder and bowel elimination. Phallic is the genitals, so you can see the Oedipus and Electra complex here, which is where the male son will like the mother, or the female will like the father. Latency, where sexual feelings are repressed, and genital, where it's mature and the sexual interests are present. Here are the defense mechanisms. Regression is where we return to an earlier stage of development. Reaction formation is us reacting opposite to how we truly feel. Projection is unconsciously transferring your emotions to others around you. Rationalization is false self-justifying explanations. Displacement is taking out your anger on somebody else. Denial is refusing to accept the reality of something. Sublimation is redirecting your desire and transforming it to something that's socially acceptable. Some projective tests include the TAT, the thematic apperception test, or the Rorschach ink blot test. So the TAT test is where people express their inner interests through a story that they make up, so it apparently reveals the unconscious. And the ink blot is how someone interprets an ink blot. According to this picture behind me, you can interpret that however you want, and that will apparently reveal your unconscious. Humanistic psychology is mostly Rogers and Maslow is the main focus, and humans are motivated by needs that are organized into a hierarchy. Maslow refers to this as self-actualization. The process of finding meaning, purpose, and communion beyond the self is self-transcendence. Humanistic psychologists sometimes use questionnaires or interviews to evaluate the self-concept. The trait theory defines personality in terms of people's characteristic behaviors and conscious motives. The Myers-Briggs type indicator classifies people according to Carl Jung's personality types. Gordon Allport, he's the one who came up with the trait theory. 5 factors that describe major features of personality include conscientiousness, which is disciplined or impulsive, agreeableness, which is soft-hearted or ruthless, openness, which is variety or routine, emotional stability, which could go from calm to anxious or can go from secure to insecure, extroversion, sociable, or retiring. The social cognitive theory focuses on how the individual and the environment interact. It was developed by Albert Bandura. Social cognitive theorists propose that personality is shaped by the mutual influence of our behaviors, personal factors, and environmental factors. This is also known as reciprocal determinism. Some ways we can control ourselves is through internal locus of control or external locus of control. Internal believes that you control your own fate, you are in control of your destiny. External is in belief that the fate is determined by outside forces. One of Western psychology's most researched topics is the self. Our tendency to overestimate the extent to which others are noticing and evaluating us is called the spotlight effect. Research has shown that people tend to have high self-esteem and judge themselves favorably. This is known as the self-serving bias. Responsibility for success is generally more accepted than responsibility for failure. So, cultures you need to know are individualism and collectivism. In individualism, they value personal independence and individual achievements, like America, Europe, or Australia. Collectivism values interdependence, tradition, and harmony, like Japan, China, and South Korea. People in individualist cultures value freedom, but suffer more from loneliness, divorce, and stress.